Teachers, what's the worst thing you've ever done to a student and gotten away with? The question hung in the air like a dare, and I could feel the weight of it pressing down on me. I was the quiet kid in the back, always had my hearing aids in, always trying to blend into the walls, the desk, the hum of the fluorescent lights. But Mr. Hayes had a way of making sure I didn't. That afternoon, the classroom was thick with the scent of dry erase markers and old textbooks. The clock above the chalkboard ticked too loudly, each second dragging like a fingernail down my spine. I was bent over my notebook, scribbling down notes I barely understood, when I felt the shadow first. Not just any shadow, the kind that looms heavy and deliberate, like a storm cloud rolling in. Then his voice cut through the noise. What's this? His fingers were rough as they yanked my hearing aids free, the sudden silence in my ears making the world tilt. My throat tightened. I opened my mouth to speak, but the words stuck like glue. Before I could force them out, his arm jerked back. Time slowed. I watched helpless as my hearing aids arced through the air, spinning end over end like a pair of doomed birds. Then Esther's crack star. The sound of plastic meeting tile was sharp, brutal. My stomach lurched. But he wasn't done. His boot came down once, twice, grinding them into the floor like they were nothing. Like I was nothing. The pieces scattered, tiny and broken, glinting under the harsh light. My hands shook as I stared at them. My parents had worked double shifts for those. Double shifts, blistered hands, skipped meals. Also, I could hear the world a little clearer. And now they were just gone. Pick it up, he barked, like I was the one who'd done something wrong. Like I was the one who just destroyed something precious. I didn't. I just ran. The hallway was a blur. The echo of my own ragged breathing the only sound in my ears. My shoes pounded against the linoleum, each step a hammer blow to my chest. The January air hit me like a slap as I burst through the school doors, the cold biting at my lungs, my skin, my eyes. I didn't stop. Not until I was halfway home, my side stitching, my legs burning. And even then I didn't slow down. Our front door flew open, the hinge creaking in protest. The warmth of the house wrapped around me, but it did nothing to stop the shaking. Dad was at the kitchen table, his calloused hands wrapped around a chipped mug of tea. He looked up, and the second he saw my face, his expression darkened. I didn't have to say a word. He knew. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I sobbed, the words tumbling out before I could stop them. My voice was raw, broken. Dad set the mug down with a quiet clink and stood, his chair scraping against the floor. He didn't hesitate. His arms were around me in an instant, solid and warm. His voice was steady, low. Not your fault. Tell me. So I did. I told him everything. The sneer on Hayes' face, the way the class had gone silent, the sound of my hearing aids shattering, the way my world had gone from muffled to completely silent in an instant. Dad's jaw tightened with each word, his fingers flexing against my shoulders. But he didn't interrupt. He just listened. The next day the doorbell rang. Dad answered it. I stayed in the living room, my knees pulled to my chest, my stomach twisting. Then I heard it. Hayes' voice, high and strained. Please, you have to call them off. The school board, the lawyers, they're ruining me. His words were frantic, pleading. I could picture him standing there, his usual swagger gone, his face pale and slick with sweat. Dad didn't say much. He just stepped aside, letting the door swing open wider. Hayes' eyes locked onto me, wide and desperate. I didn't know, he blurted. I thought they were headphones. I'm sorry. Please. The silence stretched, thick and suffocating. Dad's hand rested on the doorknob, his knuckles white. Then he spoke, his voice calm but edged with something darker. Should have thought about that before you crushed my boy's hearing aids. Hayes swallowed hard, his Adam's apple bobbing. He looked at me again, his face crumpling. I'll pay for new ones. I'll do anything. Just please. No. That was all Dad said. One word. Final. Irrevocable. Then he shut the door. The click of the latch was the most satisfying sound I'd ever heard. Some mistakes don't get second chances.